Good morning, good morning, good morning. I don't know if I have it. Kind of doubt I do. I was working all night last night. Oh no, I do got something. Yep, I do have something. One thing. Let's see. Tim Burchett on with that guy, Benny.
Question.
Boop, boop, boop. Talking about the pipe bomber, right? Says the pipe bomber Brian Coles groomed by CIA MK Ultra tactics. I don't know what he's basing this on exactly, but curious to hear. I haven't listened to it yet.
On this pipe bomber, like, are we going to get Stephen D'Antonio and some of the people that were in charge of this? Should they be dragged in front of the committee? I think that what most people are asking is, how is it possible that some degenerate, spectrumy, autistic, loner, doesn't have any friends, and speak to anybody?
Always a loner. Always a loner. They never, no contact. Remember they said that about
Thomas Crooks.
Yeah.
Tyler Robinson is the same. Yeah.
Yeah. Parents didn't know what he was doing, didn't know that, same deal. Same deal. It's always follows the pattern. Again, I say this a lot and I get labeled a lot, but I think you've got organizations that they were sued for it once before. I've had this conversation. I think it was the CIA was sued. They said, oh, we don't do mind control, all that stuff. Then they got in a lawsuit and they got their butts sued. And then they said, well, we do it. We did it, but we don't do it anymore. So were you lying then, or you lying now, or you still lying, which I think they're still lying. And, they put this garbage out to and through the way that, the airwaves on the internet. It's pretty simple how they do it. And they target these individuals. And I think that's how they do it. I think they expect this thing to happen, and somebody is pumping this garbage out. So these people think that they can get by with this stuff. And the guy almost did. I mean, he almost did. If the shooter had hit President Trump and killed him, we'd have Kamala Harris in the White House, and it'd be unicorns and rainbows everywhere, and nobody'd be talking about this, or they would. You'd be shouted down as a racist or whatever.
Yeah, or taken off the internet, which is exactly what they're going to do if they win back the House and the presidency. That's precisely where it's going. Okay, so you see just as a follow-up to that, you see a trend here with Matthew Thomas Crooks, Tyler Robinson.
You're going to see more of it. You're not going to see less of it. You're going to see more of it. And that's why people like you and me have to be very cautious.
I mean, we have these articles where, just for the viewer's sake, I mean, Matthew Thomas Crooks, they, them, pronouns, into the furry community, into these online degenerate communities. Same thing with Tyler Robinson with his.
Wasn't the boyfriend into like My Little Pony stuff? I gotta look this up. Maybe it was another one. What was the boyfriend's name? Lance Twiggs? Is that right? Yeah. It's Lance Twiggs. Pony weirdo. No. Okay. It must have just been generally furry, just generally furry.
Transgender furry boyfriend. Same thing with the brony pipe bomber. We call him the Steve Urkel bomber. It's an archetype, like a degenerate, spectrumy loner that is then somehow just snaps and commits horrific acts of violence that change culture, always directed at Republicans. Seems a little too convenient for me.
Yeah. Well, I was at the break.
Okay.
Breakfast this morning, and a doctor was talking about how 25 years ago, transgender was just it was statistical anomaly. I mean, it was not even measurable. And today, 3%, 4% of kids in public education identify with it. It's because of the computer. It's the algorithm that picks this stuff up. I'm a born again Christian. I'm not a good one, but I try to be. But it's the devil. I mean, this is demonic, and we've got people that understand this and that use it for their benefit.
Yeah.
Power control. That's all in Washington, D.C. is, brother. It is about power, and I am not suicidal, for the record.
They hate the families, man. That's part of the attacks against us. They hate families. They hate happy families. They hate functional families. They hate Erica Kirk for the same reason.
Yeah, they hate Charlie. They hated Charlie. They hate Erica. They hate you.
Right.
For it.
It's the same thing. It's demon energy. It really is. And Christians.
That's why I don't put not anymore. I put my donkeys out there. I mean, I don't put my family out there anymore because some deviant dirtbag says something, and then you've got this bunch up here that doesn't have enough guts to help me go after them.
That's right.
Some guy saying some really vile, awful things, and then I get, under the previous administration anyway, I get told, we don't see that as a threat. Really? Well, what the hell did it just say? So anyway, sorry.
No, I mean, and it's been escalating. There are multiple people that are in prison right now for threatening to kill my family.
Yeah.
I'm thankful for that, but what if, if you don't have a Republican DOJ, for all of its faults, if you don't have an FBI that actually cares about this kind of stuff, that views assassination culture as a means to an end, then, I mean, we're all dead.
Yeah. Our friend Matt Gaetz, when he was here, he had a guy that was in California that threatened to kill him. And then he actually moved across the country. He moved to Washington, D.C. and was still threatening him. And we couldn't get the authorities wouldn't even look at it. They said it's not a real threat. And then finally he did cross the line somehow and they popped him. But, you're exactly right. And there are two sets of justice up here. And when Democrats were in control, you'd see the squad. They'd be 3 deep with security, have a black Suburban driving them around.
That's right. Yeah.
Hell, I'm getting accosted out here on the street corner by these anti-Semitic groups yelling at me, threatening me, getting in my face, pushing me. And I couldn't even get Capitol Police to come out of their air-conditioned comfort. So, it's the world we live in. We better start accepting it. And again, America didn't vote for Congress. They vote overwhelmingly. They voted for Trump overwhelmingly. And we better figure that out pretty quick. We're going to lose this country.
Yep. Okay. To the bottom. Let's see what we have. Excuse me. Let's see what we got this morning. There we are. That's yesterday. For today. Okay. So, press briefing. Carolyn Levitt, 1 p.m. 4:45. All right, 1 second. I need to make absolutely certain getting sound here. Okay, good. 4:45. President participates in a signing ceremony. 8:15 p.m. The president delivers remarks at the congressional ball. Oh. Excuse me. Got my chats up. There we go. Very good. Rep. Al Green, Texas makes resolution to impeach President Trump privileged. House must consider it in 2 days. Accuses Trump of what? Abuse of presidential power by calling for the execution of 11 members of Congress. I don't know where exactly did that, but whatever. Sorry, I'm making you yawn. Article 2, what are they heading with there? Abuse of presidential power to intimidate federal judges in violation of the separation of powers and independence of the judiciary. This idiot. Secretary Noem, DHS, appears before House panel today at a hearing on worldwide threats. I don't know if we'll be getting clips out of that, if it's public. I assume it is. Senate takes test votes today on competing Democrat GOP healthcare proposals. Both need 60 days and are expected to be blocked.
The Senate will be voting on a GOP healthcare bill to counter the Democrats' efforts to expand affordable care subsidies, the Obamacare subsidies, which were extended because of the pandemic, right? So I want to give you an idea what the Republicans are going to be voting on today. Just a rough outline. First off, enhanced tax credits. The same amount of money is going to be there, but it's going to go to a healthcare savings account. It's called an HSA. So you'll get a check. It'll have to go to healthcare. It'll go to that separate account. Then you can go shopping. That's what they want to do. So they think they'll save the HSS funds, depending on age, will be between $1,000 to $1,500. They claim they will cut premiums by 11% by cutting out the fraud and also rejiggering the eligibility, because way too many people were covered under Obamacare because we're in the middle of the pandemic and then people need desperate health care. This requires citizenships to get rid of some of the fraud. Obamacare, Washington Post even wrote about, Wall Street Journal went over it, is riddled with fraud and deception. So this time it will require citizenship checks for Medicaid. That would certainly help. And this would block funds for abortion or gender-affirming care.
All right. Oh, John Barrasso, all right. Let's see. Talking healthcare.
The Democrats are coming to the Senate today to do another bailout of Obamacare. And I'm a doctor. I want people to get the care that they need at an affordable price. But Obamacare robbed people of affordability as well as choice. And if the Democrats get their way, they will send another $83 billion directly from the federal government to health insurance companies, which, you know, what have we seen with these things? That just raises prices even further. We need to send money to patients, empower them to make the decisions that what works best for them, make the insurance companies compete for those dollars, give people more choices rather than this one-size-fits-all straitjacket that's Obamacare. The Democrats are coming to the Senate today to do another bailout of Obamacare. And I'm a doctor. I want people to get the care that they need at an affordable price.
Proposals on territorial concessions by Ukraine have been sent to Trump. That's weird. I thought that he said that they wouldn't be ceding territory. I guess he's now gone back on that. Or I don't even know that has Ukraine even agreed to this, or what? This is just like a proposal by European leaders. Mainly concerns the question of, okay, there we go. What territorial concessions Ukraine is prepared to make. Okay. Oh. A leaked Samantha Power call? What?
You know, it's so weird, Mr. President. Like, it's like you call me ambassador. Like, I don't even have access to information right now because they took down the USAID website. Like, I went in advance of this call. I went on the Ukrainian, the U.S. Embassy's website in Ukraine to see if I could learn, you know, what is going on, what isn't. They've completely taken away transparency.
Are you fucking kidding me? You're the one who took away transparency.
Yep.
All the U.S. By the way, you can just go to the Wayback Machine. Have you read about the internet, Samantha Power? You can literally go on archive.org for any USAID website And like if I go to USAID.gov, right, and it'll say, okay, because we shut your shit down, that's not getting rid of transparency. What's getting rid of transparency is what you did. You covered up every fucking grant, hid it from the White House for 6 fucking months, 7 months. Told Congress, the White House, every oversight body that you can't see our grantees, you can't see our grant programs. All you get is what's on the website. So if you want to see what's on the website, you can go to the last time you were in fucking office. We'll just go to November 3rd, and you can get it right here. We literally kept the entire transparency that you had. Yanking your fucking security clearance because you're a fucking snake who would weaponize national security secrets for your own fucking personal profit. Like, how is it, by the way, that your net worth skyrocketed to like $30 million on a $180K salary as the U.S.
Thank you so much, Kathy.
Net worth increased by $23.3 million to $30 million in 3 years as USAID chief. Went from 6.7 million to 30 million during the 3 years she ran USAID on a salary of 180,000.
How does that work?
Is this insider trading on national security secrets, a la what George Soros and Larry Fink and Tom Donilon do? I don't know. Doesn't look good.
I kind of need people, I'm sure this is your frustration, out of power as well. Like, I'm used to having, 15,000 people work for me at USAID, but just people to turn this in.
I'm used to having 15,000 people work for me. Look at that flex. Look at that flex. I'm used to having 15,000 people work for me. And me knowing everything because I'm actually the CIA's main front-end funnel. So everything state is doing, everything CIA is doing. I got the first ever seat on the National Security Council from USAID.
I've been so demoralized by everything that's happened. I've not been my normal, energetic self out there. Trying to track some of this stuff down. And again, I'm used to having teams of people who provide...
You know what's so funny? You know what's so fucking funny about this? Here's what's so fucking funny. She's bitching about the total lack of transparency around USAID because now she's a fucking outsider like us. And she has to try to cull information about what the fucking organization is doing just like us.
Yep.
Now that she's not on the inside and doesn't have 15,000 fucking people working for her and a seat of the fucking National Security Council and a daily update report from the goddamn CIA and she has to get USAID information off the goddamn website like we do, now she's complaining about USAID transparency. Because now she's got the same goddamn level of transparency she gave us.
Which, of course, was none whatsoever. Yes.
I don't even have access to information right now. They've completely taken away transparency. We're trying to track some of this stuff down. And again, I'm used to having teams of people who provide...
You know what's so funny?
Teams of people. Used to having teams of people just give it to her, provide it for her. Okay, the Federal Reserve cuts interest rates for the third straight time as affordability takes center stage for the Trump admin.
That's right. We're going to see the weekly
A quarter point.
jobless claims report around 8:30 this morning, and it is being closely watched because we're coming off of a 3-year low, which allayed fears of a sharp deterioration in the labor market after independent surveys showed job losses in November. Now, this all matters because the Federal Reserve was divided on its decision to cut the key interest rate by a 1/4 percentage point at yesterday's meeting. Members were weighing which matters more, a softening labor market, which usually points to rate cuts, or inflation stuck above 2%. Which would drive members to keep rates steady. The Fed signaled yesterday that next year's expected single rate cut might come with a higher bar than the last 3 cuts.
We did some cutting, and then we paused for a while to work our way through what was happening in the middle of the year. And then we resumed cuts in September. We cut now 3. We've now cut a total of 175 basis points. And as I mentioned, you know, we feel like where we're positioned now we're well positioned to wait and see how the economy evolves from here.
President Trump continues to advocate for aggressive rate cuts. He said in an interview this week, whoever replaces Jerome Powell as Fed chairman when his term ends in May has got to be on board with rate cuts. The Fed is designed to be insulated from political pressure, but officials here say the Fed has been slow in all of its decision making. And there's also pressure to bring down borrowing costs for consumers, especially as Republicans stare down the midterms.
I think the rates for the United States are always the lowest in the world, because without us, there is no world. Without this economy, there's no world. You know, you can go to some of these wonderful countries that you think are so great. Well, one of the reasons they're great is because we allowed them to get rich off of us.
Meantime, the president is trying to turn around attitudes about the economy after a series of somewhat negative polls on the issue of the economy.
Got a lot of work to do on that.
He has lately been highlighting how real people are impacted by his policies. Earlier this week, he brought on stage at a rally a firefighter and a waitress whose overtime and tips, respectively, will not be taxed under the big, beautiful bill. So expect to see more of that kind of highlighting and spotlighting coming from officials here at the White House.
They're going to need to do a lot more than kick some people on a stage. Certainly nice to see and hear that others are doing well, but it's not ain't enough. Secretary Rubio's reinstating Times New Roman as the State Department standard font after the Biden admin swapped it to Calibri. Why would you do that? Why would you ever leave Times New Roman? It's a perfect font.
Secretary of State Marco Rubio is ordering the State Department to swap out the font used on official forms and
to what expense? How much did that shit cost?
Statements. He wants the department to return to using the traditional Times New Roman font as opposed to the Calibri font the Biden administration ordered staff to use. Rubio says this will, quote, restore decorum and professionalism to the department's written work products and abolish yet another wasteful DEI program. The department is returning to Times New Roman as its standard typeface.
Good. As to how it is a DEI program, that I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine. Maybe it's easier for black people to read Calibri. No idea. NATO chief Mark Rutte says European allies increase in defense spending to 5% is to reach our capability targets to make sure we can fight the Russians. They'd attack us.
My main focus is to make sure that the alliance as a whole is safe. When I, through that lens, look at the NSS, it clearly states that the US is committed to Europe, to keep Europe safe. The US is committed to NATO, and it also acknowledges that for the whole of the alliance to stay safe, you need a strong cooperation within NATO between the European allies and Canada and the United States. And indeed, as the Chancellor was saying, when you then take a look at the NATO summit in The Hague, it has been President Trump consistently, when he was Trump 45 and now Trump 47, pleading for European allies and Canada to do more. In The Hague we did. We decided collectively to go to this 5%, including the 3.5% on core defense spending, which equalizes the spending in Europe and Canada with what the US is spending. And this has been since the 1950s, since Eisenhower, a big irritant on the US side. They have always been committed to NATO, but they also had the expectation that we would spend more, that we would at least spend the same as they are doing. Not only because we want all to spend the same, but because we have to do it to reach our capability targets, to make sure that we can fight the Russians if they would attack us. And of course, we also have the huge build-up in China. So you see Europe stepping up. And here again, Germany is taking the lead. The fact that Germany has decided to reach the 3.5% in 2029, 6 years before 2035, is huge. It is a staggering amount of money Germany will spend on its defense, but it is also a clear call to arms for all the others in Europe to do the same. And then when you look at Europe stepping up, we have seen Pearl, which is buying from the US defense base to deliver weapons into Ukraine. Again, Europe and Canada stepping up. We have seen it as a coalition of the willing under European leadership to make sure that when there is peace in Ukraine or a long-term ceasefire, that we can keep Ukraine safe going forward. And then more recently, when you take a look at the Baltics, what happened there with the cutting of undersea sea cables, when you
Well, holy guacamole, I can chat in YouTube again.
take a look at the eastern...
Sorry, Mark Root. I was not paying attention to you. I was too busy figuring out YouTube chat. I got it working.
border as a whole, with the reckless airspace incursions from Russia. So Baltic Sentry and Eastern Sentry, the names of these two missions. Again, it is Europe, including Germany, delivering the bulk of the troops necessary there, be it air, land or sea. So I think we are stepping up, and this is what is seen in the US, and this is recognized, and this is exactly what President Trump asked for, and Europe is doing it.
Judicial Watch files a FOIA lawsuit against DOJ, seeking FBI records on the Hunter Biden laptop. Still continuing to chase that down. Good for them. Or what exactly they're seeking here. Okay. Judicial Watch announced Tuesday that it had filed a Freedom of Information Act lawsuit against the Justice Department regarding its failure to turn over FBI records regarding the laptop. Lawsuit was filed in DC District Court, one of numerous FOIA lawsuits seeking transparency in the Hunter Biden investigation. Justice Department's refusal to release these basic investigative records raises serious questions about transparency and potential interference in one of the most consequential political stories in recent history. Yep. Don't say exactly what they're going for, but... Oh, shit. Charlie Kirk's alleged assassin due in court for a pretrial hearing on media access. Son of a gun. When is this?
The accused assassin, Tyler
And where?
Robinson, will be in court as his lawyers push to further limit media access in the case.
I assume this is local in Utah, not...
Coalition of national and local news organizations is fighting it. The judge must weigh the public's right to know details of the case.
I wonder if they... I guess they must broadcast video. Cool. I assume. Gotta be where they got this.
Against his attorney's concerns that the media attention could interfere with Robinson's right
photos.
to a fair trial. Robinson's defense has already asked the judge to ban cameras in the courtroom.
Oh, well, there we go.
Something Charlie Kirk's widow, Erica, opposes, calling for full transparency and access of her husband's murder case.
Good.
There were cameras all over my husband when he was murdered. There have been cameras all over my friends and family mourning. There have been cameras all over me, analyzing my every move, analyzing my every smile, my every tear. We deserve to have cameras in there.
The 22-year-old faces numerous charges in the shooting death of Charlie Kirk on September 10th, including aggravated murder, felony discharge of a firearm, and 2 counts of obstruction. Prosecutors have said they intend to seek the death penalty.
Trump plans to appoint U.S. general to lead Gaza security force. That's starting, huh? Curious to see where that one goes. Nobel Peace Prize winner Machado says U.S. helped her leave Venezuela. That's the one that basically did she say that President Trump deserved it? Was that? Yeah, she dedicated it to Trump or something, right? What was it? Yeah, dedicated it in part to U.S. President Donald Trump. Ah, well, here she is. Okay.
Thank you all. And I want to speak to the Norwegian people, to European people, to the Venezuelan people. I would say to all citizens of the world in this hour, and assure you that I am very hopeful Venezuela will be free, and we will turn a country into a beacon of hope, an opportunity of democracy. And well, we will welcome not only the Venezuelans that have been forced to flee, but citizens from all over the world that will find a refuge, as Venezuela used to be decades ago. And as I mentioned, well, Ana Corina read yesterday, I believe that our experience in Venezuela conveys to the world a testimony that certainly in order to have peace, you require democracy. Democracy is the system that enables peace in a society. But you cannot have democracy without freedom. And freedom is an individual decision, a rational decision. And it's the sum of these individual conscious decisions that bring that collective ethos that creates the force, the strength, and the courage to fight for freedom, to defend it when you got it. And that courage comes from the things that truly matter in your life, the things that you love. And when you feel that those things are most in danger, then the courage increases. That's why I am convinced that peace ultimately is an act of love. And that's what brought me here. The love of millions of Venezuelans for our country, for freedom, and for our children. And I believe there's no other generation in the history of Venezuela that loves more freedom, our family, and our soul, our territory, the possibility of actually being in your homeland, in moving freely in your homeland, because we have lost that. And as I mentioned to you, the force that brought this country, our nation together, was this longing that we want our children back home. And we will not stop until they do that. And we give them a country in which they can live with dignity, with justice, and the responsibility that comes with freedom. So we have great admiration for Norway's institutions and democracy. We share benefits that nature has given us, and we admire the way this society has used them on behalf of your people. Quite the contrary of what has happened in Venezuela. So we have to learn, and we have used Norway as an example several times during these decades. And believe me, we will turn Venezuela into that energy, technological, and democracy hub of the Americas. And we count on you. And
I mean, they could certainly do that. They got the certainly got the energy reserves to do it.
You know, long for that day, and we will host.
Got a few things in the way first, though.
All of you in a bright, democratic, and free country, and it's going to be soon. So thank you very much, and very honored and grateful to the Nobel Committee for this recognition to the Venezuelan people, to a great movement. I'm just one of that millions of people that form it. And I do believe it is a recognition to democracy as well. So thank you very much.
But there are forces that would certainly like to get a foothold in Venezuela. Moneyed interests. Not necessarily a bad thing. I haven't looked into this lady at all. This Machado lady. I want to know about her past, but all this stuff going on in Venezuela. All right. Ukraine has delivered its response to the U.S. proposal for a peace plan, according to Axios. National Security Advisor and Chief Negotiator Rustam Umerov sent Kiev's official response to Donald Trump's advisor Jared Kushner. The move came after several days of consultations with European allies, primarily the UK, France, and Germany. Both sides expected to discuss the document later today. If history is any judge, I'm guessing they're going to chuck something in there that is just untenable to the U.S. And for too long, we're gonna back out. No longer conspiracy theory. Instacart has been caught using dynamic pricing. They're accessing personal data of users and then adjusting prices based on that data. If someone can afford to pay more for items, well, they do. They do pay more. You may have heard of dynamic pricing. Well, let's listen to this.
Turning to business news this morning, you may have heard of dynamic pricing. Well, now Instacart is accused of using this controversial practice to charge consumers wildly inconsistent prices.
Now, I've never used Instacart. What are they? Is that like for groceries or just like any damn thing at all?
On the same products. Maribel Aber joining us live from NASDAQ with our Market Watch report to explain. And ooh, this is infuriating.
Oh, Alicia, okay, let's get to it. Food delivery service Instacart is being accused of charging different prices to different customers on the same grocery items without them knowing. Groundwork, it's a consumer advocacy group, says Instacart's pricing algorithm could lead to shoppers paying an extra $1,200 on groceries annually. Nearly 3/4 of grocery items it surveyed were sold at different price points. Instacart said the price differences were tests conducted by some retailers to learn, quote, what matters most to consumers. It denied using shoppers' personal information to fuel dynamic or customized pricing.
They're denying it. Oh, wow. Said the price differences were tests. Wow. Fake news. CNN refuses to book Stephen Miller.
So over the last few days, our brilliant White House communications shop has reached out to CNN, which of course is running one fake news hit piece after another, and they said Stephen Miller would like to come on your network to rebut any of these lies. And they asked what show. They said Stephen Miller will do any show from dawn to dusk. They said what topic? The White House said Stephen is available to discuss any topic with any host at any time. As far as you're concerned, Stephen has no scheduling conflicts at all. He will make himself available from the first hour of air to the last hour of air on
That's hilarious.
any subject.
And nothing.
And you know what? CNN's response was, we will not take him, period, for any show on any topic. That is completely true.
Wow. Army Dillon reveals close to 70% of DOJ attorneys quit her civil rights division after Trump was inaugurated. 70%. And what do you want to bet? A significant portion of the remaining 30% are only there to try to gum up the works and shitify everything. Wow.
And then I said, we're going to be changing our priorities in each of your sections, and we're going to take the lead from the White House and the president's executive orders. And so we're still going to enforce all these laws, but through a different lens than what you've been doing. So please put your pencils down, make sure that the work that you're doing is consistent with this direction. And if it isn't, we're going to need to change it. And you may recall that at the same time, the DOGE folks working with OMB had offered severance packages to government officials who perhaps wanted to use this opportunity to go do something else with their lives. So in the case of DOJ folks, they were offered 5-month packages, just, for your average lawyer with some tenure there, it's a 6-figure lump sum. So more than half the lawyers in the Civil Rights Division reacted to these memos by quitting.
Right.
And
that was what, about 400 of them?
Well, there were over 400 lawyers, so more than 200 quit.
Right.
And then since that time, another close to 100 have quit. I mean, it's like not quite 75%, but maybe approaching 70% have quit. And they did it in phases, and I think there was some denial, and they had crying sessions together, and they had
because you asked them to obey the law, and just follow what the democratically elected president's priorities were.
And frankly, it was shocking to them. They had unhappy hours, things like that. It was like a lot of drama and hand wringing. And they have a support group outside and a spokesperson who constantly goes on MSNBC and trashes me and what we're doing.
How creepy. Support group. Crying sessions. Okay, Indiana Senate voting tomorrow on 2026 redistricting. Important stuff. The only acceptable outcome in 9-0 map, eliminating the last 2 blue seats, flipping them. Yes, please. Logan interviews federal whistleblower, retired Colonel Dr. Timothy V. Schindler. Okay.
Is it organized?
Of course it's organized.
So what's the organization then?
Council of the Inspectors General on Integrity and Efficiency.
Which is what?
The SIGI.
The SIGI.
Yes, and if you read the actual statutory language, it says, there shall exist in the executive branch an independent entity, and it shall be known as the council.
The council.
I didn't make that up.
What?
Now, this is what's important. Every single employee and officer of the federal government takes the same oath of office. In other words, everybody puts their pants on one leg at a time. Everybody's the same.
Yeah.
Same oath of office, same obligation, except the IGs.
What does their oath say?
They take the same oath of office, but they answer unto themselves.
And they're not subject to FOIA?
No.
So the public cannot get their records?
That's correct.
Do they have any oversight?
Themselves.
No congressional oversight?
Oh, well, sure, they have congressional oversight, but I would very cautiously think about that because the workings of the SIGI itself, no. They have an individual who works for OMB, Office of Management and Budget.
Yeah.
And he is the executive chair of the SIGI. But the actual functions of the IGs are controlled by the IGs. So in other words, if somebody makes a complaint, like several people did, like myself, who complained that the IG of the Department of Defense was defrauding the government by not performing his statutory duty, it goes to the SIGI.
Hey, look it. I can chat in YouTube again. There's my yellow name. Woo! I don't know what happened, but all good. All right, what is the Trump Gold Card and how does it work? Howard Lutnick.
So it's Trump Card.
Lucky Lutnick.
.gov. It's live right now. You apply for it, you pay $15,000, and you get the most rigorous vetting that's ever been done on new people coming to America.
Oh, right. This whole thing. Yeah.
They used to pay something like $600-800 and do that vetting. This is a $15,000 vetting to make sure we have absolutely the best people. And then they make a gift to the United States of $1 million. So finally, instead of coming in for free and just getting online and coming for free, now these people make a gift to the United States of America of $1 million. So you know these are the best people coming in. They're economically capable of driving our economy, and they're really being better. And so this is sort of raising the value of the people coming into this country.
So are they also bound to open up a business, hire Americans?
Well, they don't know. They just get to come to America. This is sort of the green card, much more powerful, right? You pay $1 million, it goes really swiftly, you get an amazingly strong vetting, and they come in. But you have to remember, green card recipients made 1/3 less than the average American. So we were taking in the bottom quartile, the bottom 25% of America. Why? Why shouldn't we take in the top of the top? And that's what President Trump is thinking. Let's bring in the best people to help America, and let's put $1 million down towards America.
15K, huh? Or we could just stop bringing them in. I mean, would it be so bad? Tim Walz's daughter just announced she's leaving social media for a few weeks due to apparent threats from MAGA. Oh, yes, all those evil MAGAs threatening poor Tim Walz's daughter. I'm sure that's a thing.
If you follow me, know anything about me, you know that I'm not one to back down. And often I, in fact, do the opposite of that. And that is, who I am, what I use this platform for. But when it comes to like my safety and my family's safety, there has to be a line there.
Retard!
And in the past,
oh, look at that. They had a drive-by again.
2 days, there have been some things that have crossed that line. I have gotten some really scary emails, DMs, comments, just stuff on the internet. And it's gotten to a point where it is not really safe for me to be on the internet right now. So I'm going to take a step back until probably after Christmas. I never thought that I would, have to do this. But it's at a point where what is being said on the internet potentially has, real life consequences that, could potentially harm me or my family. And that is where I draw the line. I'm always going to be someone that stands up for what is right and for the little guy. But I think right now I just have to look out for my family and my family's safety.
Retard.
So yeah, I know there's so much
Retard.
support. Sometimes it's hard when you're like in this to see that, and like it's hard for me sometimes. But there is more support than there is hate. But when, the quote unquote hate has real life consequences, I have to take it seriously. So I see all of your guys' support. My family sees all of your guys' support.
Yes, I support retarded children too.
We love you guys. I'm just not going to post for a couple weeks. And, I'm starting my other job, and, I'm busy and have things
I believe people should absolutely support retarded children.
in my everyday, like in,
Very sad situation.
my
It should always be supported.
material everyday life. So don't want you guys to worry. I'm just letting you know where I'm at, because I know when I don't post for a few days, sometimes people are like, Hope, where are you at? So that's where I'm at. I'm just taking a step back, looking out for me and my family's safety, and I love you all.
Oh man, she's a piece of work, isn't she? Whoa. An image of Pops. Creepy, actually. Grassley sheds light on his probe into Jack Smith's Arctic frost. Oh, okay. What'd he say? Arctic frost was not just about putting President Trump in prison, but it was a means to an end. That end that the Arctic frost investigation sought was a vehicle by which partisan FBI agents and partisan DOJ prosecutors could improperly investigate the entire Republican political apparatus. Yeah, this is like Watergate times 1,000. It's insane. As Arctic frost became Smith's election case, it also targeted over 400 Republican groups and individuals. Recently, Senator Ron Johnson and I have exposed that the special counsel's office obtained phone records of at least 11 senators and 6 members of the House of Representatives, all of them Republican. The senator further explained that emails have shown that Smith's office communicated with the Biden administration's Justice Department about the subpoenas and was warned that it could violate the speech and debate clause of the Constitution, which protects members of Congress from legal action for speech on the floor of Congress. Jack Smith took this egregious action, even though he and his team knew that case law was clear, that legislators could challenge the grand jury subpoena on the grounds that it violated the speech and debate clause. The volume of subpoenas issued by the special counsel's office should have raised alarms with Judge Boasberg and any other judges involved in issuing those subpoenas. Alarms that maybe congressional records could have been swept up by the government's conduct. Did Boasberg and others even ask the question? Was even a small amount of due diligence done? Boasberg and others won't say, because they knew, of course. Not asking these simple questions appears to be a clear dereliction of duty. That's best case scenario. Worst case scenario is considerably more ominous and evil, and I think probably closer to the truth. All right. Tonight, or last night, President Trump surprised White House staff at their Christmas party. Neato.
And all of those things, but we couldn't have done it without you. This is a great, I mean, I recognize almost all, like 90%. I either recognize and I'd say 50% I know. But I just want to tell you, that goes for you guys, because you're the same, you're equal. At least equal, maybe not. You're equal. But I just want to say that you've been very special.
Oh,
and
nice.
All of those things.
Takes a lot of people. Making the machine run. Really does. Like you wouldn't believe. Beautiful team Christmas reception. Here we go.
They fell in love and the rest is history.
Oh, Scavino and his new wife. That's cute.
Right? Say a few words then.
Thank you, Mr. President. How's everybody doing this evening? It's pretty awesome to be back here at the White House for the holidays, and I want to thank the President who puts America first and works his ass off 18 to 20 hours a day fighting for the American people with all of you people that are in this room tonight. So thank you very much. Really, really appreciate it. Every single day we each go out there, and in Butler, Pennsylvania, and I want to hear it when he raised that fist and he yelled, "Fight, fight, fight." That's what this man does each and every day for the American people, Mr. President. Erin, myself, and everybody in this room, we adore you, we love you, and we're going to keep fighting for you to save America, put America first, and make America great again. God bless you.
Wow, that's pretty good. This guy's gotten very good. He's a fantastic guy.
Oh God. Minneapolis. Welcome to Little Mogadishu.
I'm a Jew trying to learn a little bit of Somali.
There are square blocks where you cannot function without a translator.
This is Little Mogadishu.
I hate it when it does this. All right. We're going to zoom in. Here we go.
Mogadishu, Minneapolis.
Being Somali out here for me is like survival, man, every day.
How large is the Somali community here in Minneapolis?
Oh, too much.
Too much. Even they say it's too much.
People have a job and work here?
No.
No.
Nope. Oh.
Speaking Somali?
Yeah. I think that's just how they talk.
Some of them not speak English?
Don't speak English at all. Yesterday I tried to ask one of them a question and she didn't
Mistake.
speak English.
I'm got on Duolingo trying to learn a little bit of Somali. People have told me, like, why do you feel like you need to learn another language when you're in America? And it's like, because
For real.
There's a lot of people who speak a lot of languages in America.
You don't think there are any problems with not being able to read like traffic directions?
I do not agree with the simulation. Let them have their own language.
You know, this isn't a thing about race. It's a thing about assimilation, and you have to actually assimilate so you can actually become an American and be a part of our culture. Legal immigration, fine, let's have more of it. Let's just do it.
No, sir, don't play their fucking game.
Properly, and we can actually have a flourishing American culture going forward.
No, that's the thing. We can't. Thanks to you.
It's right here at the train tracks in Minneapolis, and you've already got activists. This guy riding around on his bike. He's tracking our group. Going to be calling out to his friends, telling his friends where we are so they can come and try to dox us. And the illegals aren't even the biggest problem. It's the organizations and the people that are trying to obstruct ICE's operations that are the biggest problem.
On the road with ICE.
These are the activists.
Okay, gotta blow your rape whistle.
Right here that are aiding and abetting illegal aliens that are working with NGOs in America. Many of the times the same NGOs that invited the invasion into our country, blowing whistles out here to get attention, and then putting it out on social media where ICE is in the community. These are the enemies within, right here. Illegals are bad, they need to be deported, but these organizations and individuals that are aiding and abetting, they're worse. So what?
Yeah, people had better wake the fuck up, man. I'm gonna divert for a second here. When I was on the job last night, obviously a lot of the people that I work with are left-leaning, in some cases quite hard to the left. It's just a reality of the film and stage world. And they're nice people. I have nothing against any of them in any way. Politics generally never come up. I actually really haven't at all. And they're otherwise, by and large, very, very nice people. Very good people. But I heard something that really concerned me last night. I picked it up in a conversation a couple of the people were having. One of them is I don't even know what you would, trans-leaning, like a feminine, like they got the hair and the long hair and the super slim, like a but they're male presenting ish. It was very weird. Very nice person otherwise, but I heard them overheard them talking with another one of the workers there, and they were talking about shooting guns. Going to shoot guns. They were talking about some young lady was talking about some social media influencer, tactical. Wish I could remember it. Tactical something or other. I forget. But it was like a full-blown lefty, like automatic weapons kind of social media channel, like teaching them how to use weaponry and all, right? They were talking about going out shooting very casually, out in the open, not worrying about anyone hearing them, which, 10 years ago on the left, I don't think you would have heard that at all. Now they're openly talking about joining socialist gun clubs. I heard that. So Socialist Rifle Association was the one they mentioned. And they are convinced that the end times are upon us. And those are the exact words that they used. Not kidding. And they are preparing for it. People better snap out of it, man. It's sad. This is the point we've come to. Is again, they are otherwise nice people, but they are completely brainwashed. And are being led towards something very, very, very scary. They may indeed be right about that at the end times, but ugh, scary stuff, man. They're everywhere. It was really, sorry to divert again. It was so, I was like just reading some of your comments, Roland. It was really sad listening to them talk like that, because he, like, I forget exactly what they said, but it was clear that it, like, from the conversation, that they were doing this, of course, because they're fearful. They're fearful of Republicans and what's coming, you know. And I was just sitting there thinking to myself, like, no, I couldn't fucking care less about you and your life. I don't give a shit. I just don't want you to run mine. Like, it was sad. It was just so fucking sad. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I gotta pop my share back on. There we go. Thank you.
Illegals are okay. Rapists, murderers.
Fuck off.
Terrorists.
You're a fucking rapist.
You're okay with all them? I'm not ICE, so I'm just asking you a question.
Oh, you're real America's voice?
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Yeah, there you go. Any illegals, you're okay with keeping them all? Rapists,
no
murderers.
human being is illegal.
Somebody that came into our country illegally, so all of them you're okay with? Why are you blowing your whistle, sir?
Because you're a fascist pig.
This is what happens when you get a mayor and a police chief and a governor who want to protect illegals and activists over American citizens. They encourage this kind of behavior. Leftist activists coming out, obstructing ICE.
Get the fuck out of here! Fuck you! Fuck you! Fuck ICE! Fuck ICE! Fuck Donald Trump! Don't show them anything!
Oh, we got the whistle. We got more whistles. More whistles.
You need to leave. You're not welcome. Get the fuck out of here.
I thought everyone was welcome. I thought everyone was welcome.
You was ICE?
I thought everyone was welcome.
Get the fuck out!
Yeah, you get a good shot? I don't want your diseases on me, bro. Oh, keep your diseases to yourself. We got the whistle, crew.
This is my neighborhood.
What are you here? Why are you here?
English, please.
This is what leftism has created in America. Right there.
Well, round two.
I literally had time to go get a coffee, and this is what happens.
Oh, darn it.
In Minneapolis, this is sadly what America's become because of leftist activists. We've got ICE out here doing operations, and immediately we got the whole community coming out. People that's blocking traffic, protecting Somali illegals. This car, probably illegal herself, blocking traffic. This lady. Where are you from? Where are you from? Doesn't want to be on camera, I guess. You're blocking traffic. Gonna cause an accident. This guy just trying to probably get to work. This lady just blocking traffic.
Why? I'm missing the point. Like, why is she doing it?
This is what happens when you let 20 million illegals into your country like the
No idea.
Democrats have done. And then you have activists in every...
Okay, Weird Turtle Dove says YouTube is looking great. However, DLive, you're very choppy in visual and sound. Great. Oh, joy. Okay, it's back to that bullshit again, huh? Have fun. All right, well, bear with me here. I will see if I can correct the issue. Okay. Well, yeah. I guess I'm gonna have to, like, restart it, man. Bumpy frame rate, clips not matching video. Oh, is it just me? What about the video I'm playing? Is that okay? Or is it both? If it's both, I'm almost certainly gonna have to restart it. Videos are choppy too. Okay. All right, well, in that case, I'm going to give it a reboot here. So feed will go down. Apologize in advance. Wait, it's good now? I'm okay now, but when the... Okay. Interesting. Why it started doing that. All right, well, let's try again. Let me know if it picks up again. Try minimizing a bunch of stuff here. All right. Let me know if it's all right.
Community to protect them. This is what you get.
How we looking?
That's what happens when you let the third world in. Spitting at officers. Spitting at officers, blocking traffic. That is what death of a nation looks like. When you have entire communities...
Good now? Cool. Thank you.
...set up against federal law enforcement that are working to remove criminals from their neighborhoods.
Yeah, I don't know why it's doing. I keep screwing up. It's weird. All right. Well, as long as it's working for now, you know. Will Matt Gaetz make a return to Congress?
This is a bit of a tongue-in-cheek question. You and I served together on the House Judiciary Committee, and we have gotten word that next week Jack Smith could be in for a behind-closed-doors deposition regarding his conduct as special counsel. Now, I know we got great folks on judiciary still, like Jim Jordan and Andy Biggs and Chip Roy, but do you think any of them would be as scary as me? And don't you think the House Judiciary Committee should hire me as a lawyer to come in for like one day and ask questions to Jack Smith?
Listen, I think, we've been in a lot of deposition together, do different things. I always enjoy the committee because I knew that Matt is always going to ask the questions. He's the best special operator because they can predict every other Republican. They're going to ask the same questions. They know the answer. It's like waste of time, then they know they get attorney, we get attorney. And you want to take your position of track, you need to ask questions that they don't know how to answer. And I always enjoy to hear that. And, I told that you were one of the smartest as members on that committee, and I think they need your help to help them to prepare questions, because you always ask the questions that these people do not know how to answer because they cannot prepare lies ahead of a time. So I completely agree with you, and I hope my Republicans and Judiciary Committee start actually delivering of some of the promises, not just having presentations for media and posts, but actually have some accountability for these people that be so destructive for our country.
Just remember, the Democrats brought in Norm Eisen as a private lawyer to be an auxiliary member of staff, so call me maybe.
Retired Army Colonel Daniel L. Davis argues the Trump admin must be worried about more than just drugs regarding Venezuela because other countries are bigger violators. I mean, I hate to say this, but it could really be as simple as just energy. I don't know about worried. I don't think worried is maybe desirous of.
Well, the president has said, as you know, that he is not.
There could be more to it, though. Who knows? More than just drugs. I don't know exactly what that could be in terms of something that would worry. But my guess is it's probably access to energy.
Ruling out potential land strikes. Do you think that happens? And if so, how soon could we see it?
Well, everything is kind of really tenuous right now. I mean, something could literally come any moment, but it could also not come at all. And
oh, come on now.
That's part of the really crazy part about this. And again, I'm just having to scratch my head of seeing what is the purpose here? What is the value to the United States? What are we trying to accomplish here? Because we know that in terms of all of the illegal drugs that come into the United States, a comparatively very small percentage of them come from Venezuela, come through Venezuela, et cetera. So there is a lot of other countries way up higher on the list. You don't have to go much farther than Colombia and Mexico for that. And you have to ask, if that's really the objective, then why are you not going after the biggest violators, not somebody who's way down on the list? And if it is to get Maduro to leave, how is that an American vital national interest? And where do we even have the legal justification for ousting a leader of another country, whether we agree with it or not? And there's just not a lot of answers to these. So everything could happen, or maybe nothing could happen. We just don't know.
Christy Nome, I believe, is live right now. Let me see if we can actually pull that up real quick. Let's see. This Homeland Security Committee. There it is.
Who also came in under Operation Allies Welcome. That individual provided support to the Islamic State of Iraq and ISIS-K and weapons to his father, who was a commander of a militia group in Afghanistan. Those are only a handful of the challenges that we face and the threats that the Department of Homeland Security stands against every single day. Under President Trump's leadership, DHS is securing our borders, we're restoring the rule of law, and we're protecting the homeland. DHS is eradicating transnational organized crime and the stopping of deadly drugs from continuing to be funneled into our communities. We're ending illegal immigration, returning sanity back to our immigration system, and we're defending against cyber attacks against our critical infrastructure. We have sent a strong message to criminal illegal aliens that we will find you, we will arrest you, and we will deport you. Our message has resonated to over 1.5 million illegal aliens who have gone home on their own voluntarily. At the same time, we as a country are still dealing with the mistakes, the errors, and the willful disregard of the last administration. For 4 years, the Biden administration allowed millions of people to come into our country illegally. Millions more in our country were exploited and were brought in under parole programs without even basic vetting. As a result, we've seen terrorist attacks and heinous crimes committed against American children and families by criminal illegal aliens and violent perpetuators who should have never been allowed into this country in the first place.
Mainly focused on the people who jumped the border, sounds like right now. All right. Caught on a hidden camera. Oh, this is the Georgetown professor that went on a date and then tried to sue, right? Georgetown professor caught on hidden camera calling black conservatives coons, saying he works with stupid white people. On undercover date with James O'Keefe. Oh my gosh, it's actually O'Keefe himself. Of course it is.
Because I work with a bunch of stupid white people. Lawrence.
Wow.
Hey, Lawrence. Lawrence, what do you think of him? I mean, he's just a sellout. He's like a goon. Clarence Thomas.
Biggest coon of them all, apparently.
The biggest coon of them all. What do you think of Candace Owens? Another coon. Have you ever heard of a guy named, no, his name is James O'Keefe?
Well, the thing is that I actually am James O'Keefe.
Are you?
Yeah.
No, you're not.
No, I'm not. I'm not James O'Keefe.
No, you're not?
I am.
Really?
Yes. And you don't know that...
Got a runner! Oh, yes! I love when the gay ones are on. It's just the best. Through the streets of DC. Here we go. Oh, he fell. Get the fuck out. Oh, that's fantastic. Face plant. Let's see it again. Let's see it again. Bang. Oh, man. That's a boo-boo.
You call black people coons. Whoa. He's knocking the camera. That's a misdemeanor. You can't. Jonathan Franklin, the man you see across on an undercut.
That was just fantastic. Oh, hey out there, Ralph M8088 in at YouTube chat says, hey, Pam, holy moly, how you doing from Amsterdam? Oh, almost a decade. Yeah, I know. It's been quite a long time. How many years? I guess. Well, I guess it's been more like 5 since they booted us. But you may have lost touch with us before that, you know. Yeah, still kicking it, man. Still here. Hope Amsterdam's doing all right in the midst of all the insanity we're all dealing with.
Cover date with me is currently an adjunct professor at Georgetown University. Franklin is scheduled to teach a class on sourcing and interviews technology in the spring. More on that later. Franklin is also a former correspondent from National Public Radio that wrote about issues concerning race.
Well, I'm not going to watch the rest. It's like 15 minutes long. We'll keep going, but man. That was good fun. The faceplant, man. I just made it. Kirsten Sinema really likes what the Trump admin's doing. No shit. Former Senator Kirsten Sinema, huh? Remember her? Democrat, but you know, you could always kind of tell, like, kind of wished that maybe she wasn't.
We control this global AI agenda, and that's why these data centers are so important all across the country.
Tell me what you're doing now to bridge the gap. Because I asked you before we got on here, you go, I don't miss Washington at all.
Not at all.
But you were known as one that crossed the aisle, that understands middle America, the working class. Tell me how this president has been able to do that and pick up some of those people that were traditionally Democrat voters that say, okay, I feel like it's fighting for me right now.
Well, so there's a number of ways this is happening. And first, as you know, there's this massive effort kind of on the left to kind of come into communities and give misinformation around water and energy and AI data centers. And that's a lot of misinformation. This administration is doing a good job of telling the truth, creating more energy domestically. The National Energy Dominance Council doing a whole of government approach to ensure that we're creating our own natural gas, our own nuclear to power the future. We're actually using less water with AI data centers than in the past. So that communication is bringing people together who just want efficient, proactive, good lives where their kids have a better life than they had. So this is, I think, a really important issue that has nothing to do with partisanship.
I'm out of time. Next time, I want you to talk about the MAHA movement because I know you're passionate about it.
It is a big deal.
Really? She's a MAHA person? What?
MAHA is doing great things in our country.
Please come back.
Interesting. Huh. President Trump said CNN should have new owners as its parent company, Warner Brothers Discovery, weighs takeover bids from, so far, Netflix and Paramount. Wonder what the latest on all that is. God, just CNN being bought by Netflix. Ugh. Bad enough. Bad enough with Paramount, but Netflix would, I think, would be significantly worse. Evacuations ordered in parts of Washington amid the threat of catastrophic flooding. Oh yeah, I heard it got bad. Yeah. Let's see. Washington flooding. About last hour. Can't hear you, sir. How do I unmute you? There we are.
Right now from the atmospheric river here in Portland, but it's a very different story up north near Seattle. Washington Governor Bob Ferguson has issued an emergency proclamation activating the National Guard to assist with flooding across western Washington. This morning, as we speak, residents of the town of Mount Vernon are being evacuated due to rising floodwaters. About 300 service members will be staged and are ready to respond when needed. Ferguson has also asked FEMA to declare the historic flooding as an emergency, which would open up additional funds. The governor warns as many as 100,000 people could face evacuation orders, with the rivers expected to reach historic levels as early as this morning.
Dang. Evacuations ordered. From last night, the U.S. has apparently seized a large oil tanker off the coast of Venezuela. President Trump said that he assumes the U.S. will keep the oil. Well, there you go.
It's a dramatic escalation in the Caribbean, approaching by helicopter.
Wow.
And rappelling down to an oil tanker. Video shows members from an elite Coast Guard unit seize the ship with weapons drawn and no resistance just after it left a Venezuelan port Wednesday.
That's badass. That's crazy.
Largest one ever seized, actually.
The tanker, called a Skipper, was sanctioned by the U.S. Treasury for alleged ties to terrorist groups, including Hezbollah. U.S. officials say it was being used to illegally transport sanctioned oil from Venezuela and Iran for years.
It was seized for a very good reason.
Wednesday marks the first tanker seizure since the U.S. began a costly military buildup in the Caribbean, which includes the deployment of the USS Ford aircraft carrier and at least 22 strikes on alleged drug boats in the region. The Trump administration has said the operation is to combat drug trafficking. This week, the president issued a warning to Venezuelan dictator Nicolas Maduro, who has been charged with narco-terrorism in the U.S. But Maduro alleges the pressure campaign is trying to push him out of office so the U.S. can control Venezuela's extensive oil reserves.
He's probably not entirely wrong about that.
Trump was asked what the U.S. plans to do with the oil on board the tanker.
I guess so. We're going to keep the oil.
Venezuela's government called the seizure a blatant theft and an act of international piracy.
All right, more proof the shutdown was political to shift the narrative to save Obamacare, which, oh yeah, sucks ass in the first place. Chuck Schumer on Morning Joe.
A handful of Democrats that decided to reopen the government. But you said at the time, politically, we have won this battle. I didn't want the government to reopen, but we have won this battle politically, and a lot of people mocked you. But you look at what's happened. Look at the fact that, again, Democrats won big in Virginia, won big in New Jersey, won big in California, then the government reopened. Then you start looking at the numbers. Republicans doing worse in generic ballot tests than any time since 2018. The first Democratic mayor elected in Miami in a generation. I can go on, but there is no doubt the government shutdown focused Americans on health care, and every time that happens, Democrats win, Republicans lose. What do you have
I don't know that that's going to be the case this time.
to say about that?
Well, I say, Joe, no one likes a shutdown. It hurts people so much. And the shutdown was actually...
You got to be an idiot if you think Obamacare is worth shit at this point. So...
caused by Trump and the Republicans refusing to negotiate with us. But you're exactly right. People now see who's on their side, and what they're seeing is a crisis, and they're seeing Republicans standing in the way. They don't understand. Why don't my Republican senators, why don't my Republican House members vote to extend the credit so I won't lose my health care? So my daughter will not be, her cancer cure will not be suspended. So
not how that would play out, Chuck. Shut up. GOP just released a devastating ad against Crockett. Well, her own launch ad was just Trump making fun of her for the entire, 60 seconds. Not like they have much work to do.
I challenge somebody to go and find a clip of a Democrat invoking violence.
Let's extinguish him for good.
I will go and take Trump out tonight.
We're going to fight it in the courts. We're going to fight it in the streets.
When they go low, we're going to bury them below the Capitol. That's what we're going to do.
We take them to the mud and choke them out.
You know, there needs to be unrest in the streets for as long as there's unrest in our lives.
I just don't even know why there aren't uprisings all over the country. Maybe there will be.
We're walking down a damn different path. We're fighting fire with fire. We're going to punch these sons of bitches in the
Interesting language, Gavin. Fire, huh?
mouth. I'll take you behind the gym and beat the hell out of them.
Now punch back, kick back, dunk over their heads, and win some fucking power.
Fight back, punch back, and make sure that they stay down. And you know what? Kick them when they're down because they deserve it.
I think that you punch. I think you punch. I think you're okay with you okay with punching.
We are at war. And that's why the gloves are off, and I say, bring it on.
We are not only gonna punch you back, but we are gonna knock you out.
Like we're in a war right now to save this country, and so you have to be willing to do whatever is necessary in order to save the country.
Well, I am here to tell you not only are we gonna punch back, but we about to beat you down.
And goddamn it, shut down the city!
It's the GDs, man. Jeez.
When they go low, we kick them.
Even in states where Donald Trump won big, that it does you any good running away from Donald Trump. I think you need to go back and punch him in the face.
Let's make sure we show up wherever we have to show up. And if you see anybody from that cabinet in a restaurant, in a department store, at a gasoline station, you get out and you create a crowd. And you push back on them. And you tell them they're not welcome anymore, anywhere.
Solid ad. It was good. No shit. He's taking SpaceX public? Yeah. Firm SpaceX is going public. Wow. At this point, I'd say that's probably a sure bet. That's only going to go up. I mean, literally. Once commercialization of space really gets into swing, it's going to be crazy. Ridiculous. More money to fund robot production. Yeah, sadly. Yep. U.S. Army SPC Sarah Beckstrom. Yeah, laid to rest with full military honors. West Virginia National Cemetery on Tuesday.
The West Virginia National Guard member killed in the line of duty in Washington, D.C. last month has been laid to rest. Army Specialist Sarah Backstrom getting full military honors Tuesday at the West Virginia National Cemetery. The 20-year-old died on Thanksgiving, one day after D.C. police say an Afghan national started firing at her and a fellow guardsman and U.S. Air Force Staff Sergeant Andrew Wolf. He remains hospitalized but is making progress in recovery. The West Virginia National Guard member killed in the...
Good. Right. Good, he's recovering. Oh, this fucking idiot. Sri Thanidar. Filing to impeach Pete Hegseth. This moron here.
Hello, this is Congressman Sri Thanidar. Today I introduced articles to impeach Secretary Pete Hegseth for murder and conspiracy to murder and reckless and unlawful mishandling of classified information. Since day one, Secretary Hegseth has disgraced...
Blows my mind this little midget ever made it into office.
...that once proud office that he holds, from issuing orders to kill everybody on board a small boat with no evidence of any wrongdoing, to launching a follow-up strike to finish off survivors who barely clinging onto their life.
What is that thing installed on his head, by the way?
His actions are not just reprehensible, but illegal as well. Former military attorneys have come out and asserted that his actions have risen to the level of war crimes. He also put the lives of our own troops in danger by leaking classified war plans in an unauthorized Signal group chat, which included a random journalist with no role anywhere in the administration. Pete Hegseth was already the most...
This guy is such a fucking total mystery. I just... He's too stupid to understand anything that he's talking about. He's clearly just reading a script that someone else wrote for him. He's just like a retarded little figurehead.
Unqualified secretary.
I don't think this guy understands a damn thing going on in anything that he does.
Of defense in American history, but through his abysmal conduct, he has failed to even meet the already pitiful expectations that we had of him. We must impeach and remove Pete Hegseth as soon as possible.
What was it? There was just a video like 5 or 6 days ago, someone confronting him, like asking him about something. I forget what it was, but they, like, he clearly didn't know something that someone in his position should absolutely know. I wish I could remember what it was. It was pathetic. Ridiculous that people like this make it where they make it to. It's insulting, actually. AI toys for kids talk about sex and give Chinese Communist Party talking points. Tests show. Well, after the old, everyone remember the Furby? The old Furby incident from forever the frick ago? With the Furby saying, like, sexual stuff or whatever. I forget exactly what it was they said, but it was only a matter of time. Only a matter of time before new AI tech started making its way into toys and shit like this started happening. CCP talking points and sex talk.
Nice to meet you, Kitty. Do you want to hang out?
Oh, hell no. Oh, that's that creepy movie, right?
Might be closer to reality than you'd think.
You're my best friend.
What may seem like fodder for a sci-fi thriller.
It's nice to meet you, Kitty. Do you want to hang out?
Might be closer to reality than you'd think.
You're my best friend.
Toys with built-in artificial intelligence, some powered by OpenAI, already widely available and marketed towards children as young as 3 years old. They can have a conversation, answer questions, even give advice.
Today at school,
I was really sad because
Oh, don't worry. We are mere months to years away from Gigolo Joe. Gigolo Joe, what do you know?
Exactly what name do you give this woman?
He gives advice. He talks sex.
Blue fairy. In the world of Augur, blue is the color of melancholy. Yet, the services I provide will put a blush back on anyone's cheek. I will change the color of your fairy for you. She will scream out in the moonlight. Oh, oh yes. Oh God. Oh yes. Oh God. Oh God.
He's an AI bot. He's a Gigolo Joe is his name.
She will make you a real boy, for I will make her.
This is such a fantastic movie. Artificial intelligence. One of the must-sees. The Flesh Fair. Yeah, not too long. Not too long. We're gonna see these things fighting each other to the death in a giant flaming battle ring cage match. Just give it a decade. Sharon Moore, the University of Michigan's head football coach, was fired for having what the school calls an inappropriate relationship with a staffer. Just hours later, police took Moore into custody near the university stadium after reports of an alleged assault investigation. Toast.
We need to be ready, because at the end of this first quarter of the 21st century, conflicts are no longer fought at arm's length. Conflict is at our door. Russia has brought war back to Europe, and we must be prepared for the scale of war our grandparents and great-grandparents endured. Imagine it, a conflict reaching every home, every workplace. Destruction, mass mobilization, millions displaced, widespread suffering and extreme losses. It is a terrible thought. But if we deliver on our commitments, this is a tragedy we can prevent. NATO is here to protect 1 billion people on both sides of the Atlantic. Our mission is to protect you, your families, your friends, and your future. We cannot let down our guard, and we won't. I count on our governments to keep up with their commitments and go further and faster, because we cannot falter or fail. Listen to the sirens across Ukraine. Look at the bodies pulled from the rubble. Think of the Ukrainians who might go to sleep tonight and not wake up tomorrow. And what is standing between what's happening to them and what could happen to us? Only NATO. I have a duty as Secretary General to tell you what lies ahead if we don't act faster, invest in defense, and continue our support for Ukraine.
What a joke. Oh, Mr. Root. Dinosaur at this point. All right. Democrats applaud as Governor Tim Walz promises to welcome more Somali migrants to Minnesota. You're kidding me.
On Thanksgiving Eve, playing Yahtzee to take money from my nieces and nephews. You know, we gamble a little bit on our Yahtzee in our house, and
oh my God!
I get a drive-by slur from the president.
Retard! Oh, there goes another drive-by.
What?
Jeez, it's dangerous out for you, Tim.
What type of place have we gotten to when on Thanksgiving, the President of the United States is apparently sequestered in a room, ranting and calling random governors...
Says the man sequestered in a room ranting.
If that wouldn't be bad enough then, his failed sons add in and throw that stuff at my children. And then they pile on...
It's like zero self-awareness at all. None of them have it.
And start demonizing the entire community of our Somali community in Minnesota that we're incredibly proud of. So the response to that, and I keep saying this, when you see a man like Bob Ferguson, accomplished, compassionate, a dedicated father in his community, humble, effective, compassionate, effective.
Wonder how much money these morons paid per plate.
Going back to that. But I mentioned earlier today, and I think now
just to listen to this idiot.
This moment we need to be very clear about this. With this governor, with any Democratic governor, with any of us, these folks better not ever mistake our kindness for weakness, because we're going to stand in that breach. We're going to defend our neighbors, and we're going to advocate things that make a difference. And so, you know this, but I think it's important in this moment for us to gather together, for us to figure out, I don't know how to do it, because these guys bring out the worst in me. I hate when I get to that point where it gets petty. I hate when the sense of anger comes upon you. But the antidote to that is positive actions to improve lives that go against what they're trying to do. So instead of demonizing our Somali community, we're going to do more to welcome more in and welcome people in. Instead of cutting the program, we're going to enhance it.
Unreal. Oh, what was that? Hold on. At how angry he gets. Oh, he gets ass mad. Let's see it. Waltz lashes out at a reporter who calls him out on trying to take credit for solving the Minnesota fraud case when it was actually him who helped the Somalis defraud Minnesota. Oh, you bet.
Well-being first and foremost.
Governor, last few days ago, you said that you take responsibility for putting people in jail, but all the fraud so far has been federal prosecutions. Why did you say?
They prosecute. I didn't erroneously say that. We're the ones that our agencies are bringing it up. We're referring them over. This is how this.
No, the fuck you are not.
Works. We were through it through the BCA. This is Drew Evans and the superintendent of BCA.
These are stonewalled at every turn.
Minnesota folks who work
obfuscated,
in state government,
hidden,
who are the ones that are helping build
deflected,
turn it over to the federal
minimized.
Authorities. So that is totally false. That is totally wrong. It is Minnesotans. It is Minnesota's investigators. It is the IGs that are over there, Investigator Clark, that are doing the things of putting people in jail.
Well, then why aren't there state prosecutions?
The federal laws that they're choosing to do federal prosecutions. We will prosecute on every single thing we can.
Bullshit. If that were true, you would have already done it, fucker.
Many cases we get longer ones. Is your assertion is that we don't have anything to do with the investigations? That is totally false. We're the ones who brought it to them. We're the ones who alerted the FBI. We're the ones. We turn these cases over every day. Drug cases, human trafficking cases. We would prosecute them. What I can tell you is I am deeply concerned now that they are being federally prosecuted because just yesterday, the president commuted and pardoned a sentence of a fraudster who took billions and billions of dollars, who served 12 days and was sentenced by an American jury to 45 years. So I am concerned that he releases the fraudsters because they're on federal. If they don't want to prosecute,
that's absurd.
We will certainly take them.
That is absurd, Tim.
This is normal how this works. So my statement is, we are prosecuting and helping put people in jail.
No, the point is that you are not. You let it run rampant, dude. Trump sounds the alarm. Senate Republicans and Chuck Grassley are allowing Democrats to block his judge and U.S. attorney nominations through the blue slip tradition. So still with this, huh? Still stonewalling, still dragging ass on Grassley. Ridiculous. Need those people in there, man. Gotta get them in there to, like, get the ball rolling and make things that need to happen. Noxious. U.S. Education Department officially kills Biden-era student loan repayment plan. Good. Adios. Good riddance. Border Commander Greg Bovino says Louisiana police and residents have surged resources to assist illegal alien arrests in incredible fashion. Neighbors even pitching in, offering agents gumbo. Heck yeah.
As they've received unprecedented support here from those local law enforcement agencies and also local leaders, which, as you know, this is really night and day from what we've seen in blue cities. So Bovino says in the first week, they've arrested about 150 illegal migrants under Operation Catahoula Crunch, and more than 20 law enforcement agencies, like you mentioned, across the state, including Louisiana State Police, are working with Border Patrol and supporting their immigration enforcement efforts. We even saw community support. An illegal migrant bolted after a traffic stop, ditched this car, and ran into a neighborhood near a school, sparking a manhunt.
Wow.
Neighbors pitched in, they checked their backyards.
Wow.
Even showed off some Southern hospitality and offered agents gumbo. Chief Bovino
This is how we do it. Okay,
says
I
agents
like
are
this.
able to focus on making arrests because of support
Good to see a city taking kindly to these efforts for change.
from law enforcement.
You know, if you look at places like California, that's Governor Newsom, Chicago, that's Governor Pritzker, Mayor Johnson, and then in North Carolina, Governor Steen. They said some very vile and contemptible things about the Border Patrol, about ICE agents, and our allied law enforcement teams. And what that does is that empowers their weaker-minded constituents to perhaps take up violence against us when normally, otherwise, they wouldn't do that.
Yep.
In a video shared by Vice President J.D. Vance on X, one construction company owner says he's seeing a difference ever since Border Patrol has been in Louisiana.
Good stuff. FEMA Review Council to recommend downsizing but not shuttering agency. Bids for Warner. Bids for Warner Brothers. Okay. Face uncertain Trump approval process. Some experts say rival efforts from Netflix and Paramount would upend the media industry. Yeah, you're damn right. Okay. What government hurdles await? So Trump has already commented that, or at least seemed to indicate that this could be, like, they could become too big here. Like, this is they'd have a considerable control over the market, and that could be a problem. I mean, Trump didn't say that outright, but certainly seemed to be the implication. Streaming giant Netflix appeared to win the bidding war when the two firms announced a merger. Within days, however, Paramount launched a hostile bid for Warner Brothers Discovery for $108 billion. Paramount encompasses the HBO Max streaming service, Warner Brothers film production company, and cable channels such as CNN. Netflix established its agreement with Warner Brothers Discovery at a lower price of $83 billion. Though the Netflix offer, it excluded the cable channel, so they would not have been purchasing CNN. Interesting. That still doesn't change things for me, though. I'd much rather Paramount have it. If it's down to, like, you know, one or the other. Honestly, I prefer the deal just didn't happen to begin with, but it's just me. Power is already consolidated far too much in that industry. CBS News. Okay. Luxury cars and private villas. See how Minnesota fraudsters spend millions intended for hungry kids. See it. That's a nice-ass house. A lake? A little private lake? Shit. Wow. A box stuffed with cash. Potentially totaling $270,000. Have fun. Porsche Cayenne. That's your money. As you are looking at your money right there. Our money. Oh, sorry, that was a Porsche Macan, and not a Cayenne. That's the small one. Okay, let's see. Justice Department and Defense asked to postpone Monday's detention hearing in the case of Brian Cole, who's being charged with the Capitol Hill pipe bombing incident. Feds suggest December 30th instead. Oh, Justice Department says defense is dealing with significant amount of discovery. Well, damn. I was looking forward to that. In 4 days. The next one is supposed to be the 15th.
Hey, James.
Oh, hello. Oh, sorry. I didn't realize I was 2 minutes over here.
That's okay. I was just, wanted to say hey.
How you doing?
All right. How are you?
Quite good. I understand you're going to show a documentary or something?
Yeah, I was going to show Never in America. It's a new CPS documentary.
Cool. Well, let me pop off here and let you get going.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
You know it. All right. There we go. Well, that does it for me, folks. I'm going to let Audra get to it here.
Thank you, brother. So, yeah, I just wanted to. Yeah, I mean, there's just some.
All right. So, sorry, YouTube. Suppose that does it for me. I don't really have anything else to go into, I suppose. I will be back this evening at 5 o'clock to review the rest of the day's news with you guys. So please kindly join me then. Good to see some old names. I saw at least one pop in there that we hadn't seen in a long time. Ralph M. from Amsterdam, that's what it was. Good to have you back. I don't know if you're still listening in, but if you are, it's good to see you. And good hanging with the rest of you as well. We will be back in 6 hours, all right?